everybody. Welcome to what is number 11 in the Close Encounters music production tutorials series that I'm currently making. We've been doing it for a couple of months now, and like I say, we're on number 11 already. That's actually quite a surprise that it's actually come this far. This one, as you can tell by the title, is all about layering leads, your main riffs in tracks. Now, I've had loads of people message me over the last couple of months, really, since I started doing these tutorials, asking for me to do a video on how to sort of layer leads. It's not so much how to write the riffs, because obviously you need to be able to do that yourself, really. It's how to get that sort of big main riff sound. Now, the problem with this subject is that it's quite wide open, because it all depends on what sort of sounds you like. Do you like it very retro sounding? Do you like it sounding really upfront? And all of those factors make a big difference in how you would approach this subject. So, I mean, the best thing I can do really is just, I've loaded up one of my old tracks. Actually, it's the remix of Here Beside Me, which has got quite a strong main riff in it. All I can do really is show you what I did on this track to give you some sort of idea of how you might approach doing this. So the bit we're interested in here is here. Hang on, let me... leads. This folder track here is what we're interested in. So let's close everything else out. Hang on a second. We just have the leads. In fact, I can turn everything else off for now, so we can just see the leads. Okay, there we go. Now, what you'll see, the first thing you'll see is that they've actually got 4 different sounds playing essentially the same notes. Some are an octave high, some are an octave low. Now, there's no real sort of process to this. This is why it's a difficult subject. It's a case of getting the noises that you like, the sound that you like, and then finding other sounds that go with it to make it sound better. I know that sounds quite sort of up in the air, but that really is the only way I can describe it. What I can do is show you, in the first instance, I would have written the riff. It says bassline, just ignore that. I think that's probably the patch name. No, ignore all of that. Don't take any notice of that. So if I solo that, I've got it looped just on these 8 bars. It is 8 bars, I think. Yes, 8 bars. It's just looped. You'll hear this sound on its own. Right, now, on its own, actually sounds pretty cool. I mean, it's, nothing outstanding, but the thing is, if you sort of make this into the track, if you don't make it into the track, if you play it with the entire track on its own, let's just mute out the other ones for now. I mean, it's currently a bit quiet. But that's because it's on its own, and when there's 4 sounds, you have to balance the 4 sounds together. So this is why on its own it sounds a bit low. So let's just turn it up temporarily. Where's the fader? There it is. Right, so that would be the sort of level you would have it. And what you find is, when you're writing your track and you put a noise in like that, and you do a riff like that, and you play it, you think, yeah, wicked. And the tendency is to think that that's enough. And that's usually the first mistake you'll make, particularly if you're not that experienced. You'll hear it in your headphones or on your monitors, and it will sound massive, and you'll be like, yeah, that's wicked. What a wicked noise. What a wicked riff. And you'll tend to just leave it. And then when you play your finished track to people, they'll be like, yeah, it's all right, but it's not really kicking. And you won't be able to sort of realise, you won't be able to sort of get why it's not doing what it should be doing. A a lot of people will tell you it's because you need to layer out your riffs. So I hope I'm being clear. What I'm saying is the tendency is to do one big synth noise as your riff, and that's it, and you think that's enough. When in actual fact, you know, in this particular example, I've got four different sounds playing. And I'm not saying, please don't think that you should just use 4 sounds every time you make a tune. It really is down to what actually works with the track and what sounds right and all of that. So it is open to sort of, like I said at the beginning, it's very, very wide open subject. So what else have we got here? Let me solo the one that I had. What else have we got? Let's solo each one individually. Because that's just like the standard simple saw off the Nexus 2. And then we've got this. Oops. Then we've got this one, which is an octave higher. And then finally we've got this one, which is 2 octaves above the actual main riff, the first one that I played you, this one. Now individually they actually sound not that great. I mean, that doesn't sound very good at all. But it's being used to reinforce the main riff. So when you play them all together, and when I mute them, you will notice them drop out. Sorry, excuse me. So that one now sounds quite... I mean, it's nothing wrong with it. It still sounds cool. But with the extra one, when I unmute this, listen. Here we go. It just gives it that largeness. It fills out that sort of space. Again, you can notice the difference. So you can sort of tell just by muting each one, you can hear a difference, and it sort of sounds, what's the word? It sort of sounds empty without all 4 playing together. And that's the sort of trick, really, is to get the thing sounding how you want it. Now, I know it's not the easiest thing in the world, but most of you, to be fair, will know what sort of sounds you like to start with. It's just a case of finding other sounds and whether to have it up an octave or even 2 octaves, you know, to make it work. And the only way you can do that is by experimentation. Sometimes you're lucky. With this one, I hit upon these 4 sounds pretty quickly and just thought, no, they sound wicked. And so they stayed. But other times you could be searching for quite a long time. What else is there to say? I mean, well... Also, obviously, we've got 4 sounds playing one riff, okay? So I would have had to, I would say, let me double check. Let's get my mixer up. There's the mixer. So I know for a fact, because I know how I work, yes, I've got a group track, leads. So it means all of those tracks, they're all soloed here. Anything playing the leads will be patched over. I'll have that bust over to the leads so that all 4 sounds are on one fader. And I've also got an effect on there, a delay and stuff. So the key is to get the actual balance right between the 4 noises and then group them together onto a group channel. And that gives you overall control over all 4 sounds at once, as if they were one sound. So the obvious thing you do, just to give you a quick rundown of how you would do it, right? You would write your main riff, right? And then all I do is write in whatever first noise I'm using, I write the riff. When it's done and I'm happy with it, you just right click the channel and duplicate track. So you get a duplicate of the track on the, and then you would change the sound or even the plugin, whatever you're using, and then move it up and down octaves and play around with it. And that really is it in a nutshell. I don't really know what else I can say other than the fact that, as I keep saying, and I'm going to continue to say, it's very, very sort of wide open subject, because this riff in here might not suit somebody who's making really upfront hardcore. This sort of track is sort of sounding quite old school. It's very, very me from the 2000s, probably. You know what I mean? So if you're making more contemporary riffs, I mean, from what I can hear in a lot of the new sounding stuff, the actual main riffs don't seem to be that layered. They seem to be, and not very, they haven't got a lot of effects on them. There's no delays, there's no reverb. They're very sort of, what's the word, minimal. The way it seems to have gone is tracks don't seem to kick in with like massive riffs anymore. They sort of kick in with, and they sound like they're going to really kick in, and then they don't. It's sort of like a minimal, I don't know how to describe it. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about anyway. In those instances, then probably you won't want to be layering your riffs too much. But if you want something that sounds really, really big and really pokes through the mix, punches through, and really makes people want to jump around, what I found in the past is to do the layering. Anyway, that's it for today. It's a shorter video. I know last week I wasn't very well and I just did a live stream. You all seem to enjoy that, so that was cool. If you haven't already, I'm just going to go through the usual stuff. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified anytime I upload a new video. Also, take a look around the channel, have a look at some of the other videos. You can refer back to all, the other 10 that I've done at your leisure. Don't forget, you can share them. You can give them thumbs up. If you give them thumbs up, that really helps me out. That would be amazing if you could do that. Any questions, put in the comments, and that's pretty much it. So for this week, I will sign off and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.